We are all about showcasing authors and supporting authors to become authorpreneurs. Natalie McQueen and Becky Norwood of Spotlight Publishing bring to you their Authors Spotlight and expert interviews. Success as an author hinges around well-thought-out marketing, which begins the moment you put your pen to paper or begin to tap the keyboard. Their expertise guides their authors to become #1 bestsellers, yet it doesn't stop there. The book establishes expertise, builds a business, and opens the doors to being seen, being read, and then being paid for their knowledge. Listen to this informative interview by Spotlight Publishing with Natalie and Becky.
This is Becky. I'm Becky Norwood. This is Natalie McQueen. We're with Spotlight Publishing, Spotlight on Your Business. And this is Kim Minert. And we are so excited to have you. You're an author, you're a published author, you're doing all the really cool things. And we want to talk about your book and your experiences being an author. So introduce yourself and tell the world about you.
Okay, world. So my name is Kim Minert, and I was unfortunately diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 44, which is a very rare occurrence. And at the time, I was dating a guy who also was a type 1 diabetic. So I said, well, dude, you have to marry me now. You gave me, right? And so he did, and we got married, and I was a hairdresser, and he's the financial planner, and life is good. And then I tore a tendon in my ankle, and I had to have surgery. And I love to write. I've always been creative in a variety of different ways. And so I couldn't work, I took the time to write a book about diabetes and about helping diabetics. Since we're talking about publishing, I'll tell you the story. I had a publisher, and he encouraged me to put my picture on the front of the book, and I named the book, which it was called Your New BFF, Burn Fat for Fuel, and Lose Weight and Beat Diabetes. And it just was too complicated. So eventually I was able to get out of that contract with him. He went off to do a different thing, and I got the rights to my book. And so I hired a consultant to help me rebrand the book. And it's been so much cleaner and easier. It's called Derail Diabetes, period.
Oh, perfect.
And Stay on Track for a Long and Healthy Life. So much simpler and easier. I also recorded the entire book in a studio. And so I have an audio, this is 6 chapters of the book, and I do have the ability to do an audible, which I'm going to do. I'm very excited about moving that direction. And the book itself, I wanted it to be kind of homespun and down to earth. So people who have diabetes can get it and understand it and not have to have all kinds of medical terms. And, I explain everything like analogies, like, for example, the fuel for our bodies. It could be like coal, or it could be like wood, or it could be like a dry, empty grass field. And so people can go, oh, I get it. That's going to burn a lot faster than, a longer burning energy source or whatever. So lots of analogies. I met a cartoonist and have the book full of cartoons. And then you won't even believe this, but sadly he passed away from diabetes-related complications, which is probably why he produced so many health-related cartoons. And his wife said to me, because he passed away in the middle of my project, and she said, he wants me to keep his cartoon business going until the world doesn't need to laugh anymore.
Aww.
So I actually dedicated my book to Randy Glassbergen. He's a world famous cartoonist, and I just am so thrilled to have his work as part of my book and keeping it light and humor. Like, for example, there's the doctor talking to the patient, and the doctor says, so what fits into your busy schedule better? Exercising for 30 minutes a day or being dead for 24 hours a day? And it's just like, oh, brother, we have all these excuses for not doing what we know we're supposed to do. And yet, and so he brings it in, in a way that brings humor to the situation.
You know,
And then my brother is a really good cook, and he put a whole bunch of his favorite recipes, all diabetes-friendly recipes that manage your blood sugar,
nice.
In the book. So it's a great book.
Wonderful. My aunt had, she's in her 70s now, but she had for years problems with diabetes. But when she retired and started paying attention to herself more, she started exercising and cooking right and doing all this stuff. And now she manages it perfectly fine. She doesn't have, she got off a lot of her medication, and she's just managing it through good nutrition and good lifestyle. And she's always telling me how proud she is, but she checks her, blood levels on a very consistent basis. She notices when she gets stressed, she starts having issues again. So she just she keeps it very, she keeps very busy and active and everything. I'm so proud of her for what she's done.
Yeah, it's possible. And that's my main message, is to bring hope to people that feel, because it's scary when you get this diagnosis, and it's like, oh my gosh, now what do I do? And I have to change everything. And so I help people make those changes, make it easy, make it fun. You don't have to, not have a good meal anymore, or not be able to eat on Thanksgiving. You just eat different food. And I always go with, what foods do you like and love that are on this list that are good for you? And then we just formulate a lifestyle around those foods. And pretty soon you don't even think about the food you're not supposed to have. You look at it and it just doesn't even look good, because it's empty. It's empty food.
Yeah,
exactly. So Kim, you're geared to people that have been diagnosed with diabetes. Would it be a good book to pick up for those people that maybe never want to be diagnosed?
Absolutely. If you have a family history, or even people who struggle with extra weight, you're at risk. And so if you go right into this plan, you don't even have to get it. And you don't have to have it on your medical record that you ever had it. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful way of life. And a lot of people follow the food that we eat who aren't diabetic. There's people who burn fat for fuel as an athlete. It's sustainable. It's so much, it lasts so much longer. There's a couple that put their body in a fat burning state and rode from a boat from Los Angeles to Hawaii. And they beat the world record by 15 days, because their bodies were fat adapted, and they didn't have to stop and load carbs. Like you hear about people, they load the carbs and they eat all this spaghetti, and then they bonk or they hit the wall or whatever. Well, a fat adapted athlete does not hit the wall. Wow. They keep going.
That's beautiful. So,
how long would it take someone to be in a good fat burning mode?
It takes, from some people quicker than others, but 2 days to 2 weeks.
Okay, that's not long.
Fat burning.
That's cool. So your the audiobook that you're going to do, that you're going to be doing that through Kim Hubshai, don't you?
Yes. We've been talking about it. We haven't made a plan yet, so that's in the works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. Good hands. We love Kim.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And how much time do we have? Do I have time to tell you about my next book?
Yes, you do. That's what my next question was going to be.
Okay. So I partnered with a friend of mine who's a type 2 diabetic. I'm a type 1. And we produced a cookbook. It's Conquer Diabetes on less than $5 a day. And these are available on Amazon and on my website. And she created 125 original recipes. And we shopped at Fry's in Scottsdale, Arizona. So it's not like we were at Walmart or some cheap store necessarily. And she was able to buy food, and it averaged for menu for a whole week for $4.07 a day.
Wow.
So we're going to debunk that myth that eating healthy has to be expensive.
Right. Absolutely.
We're super excited about this book. It's been out for 3 or 4 months. And it's great recipes. And she tells you how to not only get the recipes, but again, it's a lifestyle book. So here's the grocery list. Here's the pans that you need. Here's how you need to prep it. Here's how you can make your life work when you're busy and when you're working. her doctor said, you know, I don't have time to do all of this. And so she has a whole chapter of quick fix. That's what it's called. They're quick fix recipes. So we're super excited about that. And then I don't have plans for a third book, but I have an online magazine, and that's what I'm super excited about. It's Derail Diabetes Magazine, and you can go deraildiabetesmagazine.com. We just had the 4th month come out, and we're featuring a gal. She's a diabetes expert from Switzerland, originally from Sweden, and she hosts and produces a conference, the first conference of its kind in Spain. So Mallorca, Spain, and I tell all about it in this month's issue of the magazine. So and the magazine is in a blog format. So you're going to get, when you go on deraildiabetesmagazine.com, you're going to see what we came out with in November, but you also can go back and look at October and September and August. So you've got recipes, lifestyle, food, health. It's a really robust magazine.
Nice.
Well, my hats off to you, because this is something that has actually kind of turned into not only just your passion, but it's a wonderful resource for so many that are faced with that.
Right. That's
probably something you never considered.
Testimonials in, and it seems to be really well accepted, and people are happy to give something else a try when they've been struggling.
Yep. And you have to feel so much better when you're putting the good foods in your body and having your diabetes be under control.
Oh, absolutely. Because, when your blood sugar, if your blood, think about it, it's like everywhere in your body. And my doctor, who taught me all about diabetes, she wrote the foreword to both of the books, and she has been, my constant companion. She has an Ask the Doc in the magazine that we would love to people have questions about preventing diabetes or weight loss or how to manage it. Send in questions. There's a place in the magazine where you can ask the doctor questions. And then she has every month, it's called Nutshell Science. And she takes the latest research and articles and breaks them down so that they're easy for people to understand, like what scientists are finding to be true in the latest research.
Have you heard of Dr. Mark Hyman?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I asked him to write a foreword for the back of my book, and he was just launching his book, Eat Fat, Get Thin. Yeah. And he didn't have time, but I have talked with him. He's a wonderful man.
I think he would be really good to connect with again, to reach out to him, because they do a lot of interviews on their podcast for people like you.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Really good information, and they're always on the search for good people, though.
I'll do that.
I think that would be a really good connection for you.
It would. Yeah, he's got a lot of books and.
Yeah, he has some excellent. I have some of his courses. Not that I've had enough time to totally go through them all, but he has a weekly podcast, and they're always interviewing people like you.
Okay.
So reach out to him again. Maybe that would be really something that, because of that connection, it may be something really good for you.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time with us today, Kim. What we're going to do is, when in the links below, when we share out the video, you'll get a link to say yes, I approve.
Okay.
And so that way you can share it out onto your page. But we'll also put the links to the book, to the books, and to the website on the comments below after we finish this. Okay. So for those that are listening live, which we don't know how many because we're not able to see from here, but it gets shared out. Oftentimes there's lots and lots of shares. So we're delighted.
Well, share away. We all spread the good news.
Yeah, there's lots of good information.
Congratulations. That's really exciting, and you're going to help a lot of people changing their diets and really realizing that it doesn't have to take a lot of money or a lot of time.
Right. That's what we want to make it easier for people.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking this time with us. I'm glad it worked this week. Last week we kind of somehow the waves from the the universe or wherever we're syncing
it
up.
wasn't working. I don't know if there was a full moon tomorrow, but yeah. But this was great, and I thank you so much. And it's so nice to meet you, Natalie. I look forward to meeting you in person one day.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Authors hire Becky and Natalie of Spotlight Publishing for their guidance in treating their book as their business. Many authors have no idea where to start, how to market themselves, nor how to have a successful book launch reaching #1 bestseller. This often leads to discouragement and disappointment. Spotlight Publishing works with their authors to get seen, get read, and get paid for their knowledge and expertise. For more information, go to www.spotlightonyourbusiness.com. Spotlight Publishing. Your book is your business.